The work that we do, as I said, is very important. It's very significant. I encourage people to come to the court. I encourage people to see an argument. When you're in D.C., you can come and understand how the court operates.
Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson making a stop at Essence Festival today, giving out an invitation to everyone the next time that they are in D.C. to stop by the court and watch them work. And by the time that she did get off of stage, hundreds of people were gathered around listening to every word she said as she talked about her childhood, her work as a judge, and odd traditions behind the scenes that many don't see.
It is just the privilege of a lifetime to have this opportunity. I've said to many crowds that, although I am the first African-American woman to sit on the Supreme Court, I'm certainly not the first who could have done this job.
Day 2 of Essence Fest saw the newest member of the Supreme Court, Ketanji Brown Jackson, sit down and talk about her life, her upbringing, and her job as a Supreme Court justice. By the time she finished, it was standing room only, and hundreds of people stopped to listen.
We got to make it there. Like, whatever we're doing, we got to make sure we're in attendance and actually in the space hearing her speak to us. So.
Was it everything that you thought it would be?
Absolutely. Yeah, and more so. Really inspiring.
Her stories of her upbringing in D.C. and Miami, plus her work as a liberal justice on a majority conservative court, inspired people to take the time to listen to others that are different from them.
I thought, wow, this is a wonderful moment for us to think about how we can do our part, but also to get some words from someone who's doing their part on a larger scale. And so just inspiring in that way.
One of the inspiring moments was when Justice Jackson talked about her interactions with the other justices and some of the traditions they have behind the scenes that not many people see.
Before we go out on the bench, we shake each justice's hands, the other justices, as a ritual before we appear.
Just that small act of kindness and seeing people as people and not their political leanings got the audience's attention. And the fact that most of the justices have lunch weekly.
There are opportunities to have lunch pretty much weekly, and every time we sit, we have lunch, and the rule at lunch is that you don't talk about cases. So you learn about people's families and sports and books and movies and that kind of thing, and you get to know them outside of the work.
I think a lot of the ills that we have in our society would be minimized if we took the time to understand each other. And I think that she is a really good example of what that looks like.
Many in the crowd said they do not agree with the direction the country is taking, but listening to Justice Jackson gave them hope.
I don't think that the challenges of today are necessarily greater than they were 100 years ago. So, I mean, that makes me feel inspired every day.
It ended with Justice Jackson giving an invite to everyone in the room to come to the Supreme Court and watch them work and hopefully inspire young people to get involved.
I think, for me, young people give me hope. That's one of the reasons why I bring them to the court, because I want them to see how our institutions work. I want them to dream of being justices, of contributing to our society and being a public servant.